All right, we will get started. My name is Nick Athen. I am with Major League Football. I am handling the media relations for the league, and I have to say before we get started, this has been a project that's been in the works a very long time, and the majority of the people that are here today are people that help contribute to make this thing happen. And we are extremely excited to be here, and we are looking forward to what lies ahead. As you can see, we brought our footballs and our helmet. We have our hat. We have our uniforms that we're going to wear, and we're going to be bringing football to this area, and we're very excited. So I'm going to start the proceedings with introducing Mr. Frank Murtha. He is the Senior Executive Vice President for Major League Football, and he will take it from here.
Send money. Applause isn't necessary. Number one, on behalf of Major League Football, I want to thank you all for coming out. As Nick has mentioned, we have some of our key executives here, and obviously there's a lot of people in this audience that I want to acknowledge and will, who've been very helpful, to say the least, to bring this project to a successful conclusion here in the Bradenton, Sarasota, Manatee County. But I first thought I would start off by at least briefly just introducing our staff that's here and begin. And I'll ask them to raise their hands so we can identify them. Our CEO is Jerry Venisi. I'll give you a brief bio on Jerry. Jerry had a long career in the National Football League, was the treasurer and general manager of the Super Bowl winning Bears in 1985, and then went on from there to be the executive vice president of the Detroit Lions, and eventually was asked by the commissioner at the time to begin what became the World League of American Football and then NFL Europe. So Jerry spent a number of years with that league and brings to us a background, not only the fact that he's an accountant and a lawyer, but obviously an extensive, very extensive experience in football administration and personnel. To his immediate right is Rick Smith, who is our Chief Operating Officer and is our technology whiz, among other things. And so Rick's concerns are multitude, and everybody who's had a number of tasks. To Rick's immediate right is Mike Queen. Mike is our vice president in charge of finance, handles a lot of the public securities work, as you know, and we've announced in our press release we are a publicly traded corporation. So Mike brings an extensive background in that area to us. To his immediate right is Jerry Brooks, who is our CFO. He's going to make sure the books are good and the expenses are low. Immediately next to him is Dave Bovey from West Palm. Dave is our SEC lawyer and a securities expert and has handled a lot of those matters. Next to Dave is a guy that a lot of you got to know down here, J.J. Coyne, and there's nobody that deserves more credit for pulling up a lot of loose ends on all of this between a multitude of assignments, including most of you hoteliers who may be here and to whom we owe a debt of gratitude. Got to meet JJ quite often. Next to JJ is Ivory Sully. Ivory played in the National Football League for 9 years. He's our vice president of branding and licensing. Brings extensive experience to us from that field, post-career, post-NFL career. But he spent 8 or 9 years in the National Football League, and one of them was up the road here in Tampa. Two in Tampa. Sorry, I didn't want to cut your career short. Make sure your pension's got that second year. I think next to him is Dean Dalton. Dean is our vice president of football operations, former NFL coach, college coach, brings an extensive football and business background to our organization, and you'll be seeing more of him. And then Rick Nichols is out over here on the other side in the 5-cent seats, I guess. But Rick has extensive experience in the National Football League with the Broncos, the Cardinals. He's our vice president of development, but he also parenthetically was a general manager working with Jerry in the World League of American Football. I think you had Birmingham, didn't you? So again, the theme, one of our themes is extensive experience in the operation of football leagues. But we're out here, we're going to hopefully avoid the rain and the heat, but I thought we would kick it off with Jerry making some remarks and our super secret double probation announcement while we brought you all out here today. So with that, I'll turn the mic over to Jerry, and then we'll get on to some of our other speakers that we're going to have come up and make a few words.
Thank you, Frank. I'm really delighted to be here today. Today's a historic day as far as Major League Football is concerned. It's reality day, I guess, or dream come true day for us. A lot of people I've only been involved in the league for about the last 8 months or so, but a lot of people have been working on this, as Nick said, for a long time, going back some 7 or 8 years. And it's taken this long to get to this point, but we're delighted and couldn't be happier to announce that our world headquarters is going to be over in is that that's Lakewood Ranch though?
Lakewood Ranch.
We don't want to make sure.
Lakewood Ranch, Manatee County.
It's Manatee County, right. That's why I just hesitated, but I wanted to make sure I had it right, because I had Lakewood Ranch down too. But and Frank schooled me enough on that. But we're delighted. We're delighted to announce that, and can't thank you enough for making it possible for us to come down here. And then with the premier sports complex, it almost became a no-brainer for us. It's the facility to me is what it's all about. We'll be bringing next spring roughly 1,000 people down here. 10 teams, 80 players per team is just 800 players alone, plus the staff and everything else. Plus you're going to have the staff of the league, and many of the team people will be working out of our offices. The league people will be here on a year-round basis. So we think it's a win-win for both Manatee County and Major League Football, and we're truly thankful and excited about the opportunity. As Frank mentioned, the league is a publicly owned team. It's a league, and it's very similar in a way to the World League that we created. I was involved in the creation of back in the 90s for the NFL. It's a single entity league. Our initial plan is to have 10 teams in non-Major League Football, non-Major League Baseball cities, places that enjoy football. Although, I came down here really to see the Blackhawks play tomorrow night. So, Frank,
That started off well.
but we we'll have a lot of fan involvement. There's Ivory Sully, who's our vice president in charge of licensing and image. We will have a military component to it, a local component to it. It's really going to be fan involvement. Given the time and the opportunity, we'll have the fans involved in naming the teams and the selection of the team names and uniform designs and everything else. We're in a very compressed time schedule, so some of those may be longer-term goals than 2016, but we're really looking forward, as I said, to being down here and getting involved in the community in every way possible. We've announced so far 5 cities, and we have several others that we're in negotiations with. Orlando being the closest one to here, and then Norfolk and Eugene, Oregon, and Birmingham and Little Rock, Arkansas. So far we have 5 teams, and we'll be naming the other teams shortly. Other than, again, saying a well-earned thank you to you for making it possible for us to be here. We really appreciate it, and I'm very happy to announce that we'll be here.
Thank you, Jerry. And there was a couple of other thank yous that and acknowledgments that I wanted to get out. They declined our invitation to speak, but obviously everyone over at SMR has been terrific. Antonio, when we first met, I think that was probably the first meeting down here when I came out to look at the fields. And Kirk and Tony and the whole Schrader Manatee organization has been extremely helpful. And I got to say that because they're our landlord too, so I got to make sure. And we know it's Manatee now, not Sarasota. That little geographic bend that we've all learned. And I neglected to introduce Christy Powers, our local counsel, who some of you met, particularly as we're going, but she's back there in the black dress, and she'll be working on a variety of things for us. But I want to kind of keep the program moving. So our first speaker is Sharon Hillstrom. She may need no introduction to all of you who are locally, but she's the president and CEO. So we're going to have her step up and make a few remarks. And there's no time limit on anybody, so whatever's comfortable.
Great.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Frank. And I have to say, on behalf of the Bradenton Area Economic Development Corporation, it has been just our pleasure to work with Frank and Jerry and JJ, and we'll look forward to getting to know the rest of the team. It was an exciting process for us to go to, and being a former Chicago girl, it's nice to have some of my hometown friends back in the Sunshine State. So I kind of want to give you a little history about where the sports performance sector started in Manatee County. And way back in 2009, the Bradenton Area EDC convened a discussion among business leaders involved in the area of sports performance. We quickly recognized that we had the makings of a vibrant industry cluster made up of sports performance venues, product makers, training organizations, professional teams, research centers, and related medical services. This uncommon set of assets is fueling an enthusiastic collaboration among all of these players, with sports performance and sports-related tourism leading the way. The sports industry in Florida has grown from a $16 billion industry in 1999 to an estimated $44 billion industry today, roughly 3.5% of Florida's gross state product. Sports and recreation sports create more than 430,000 jobs for Floridians and attracts more than 13 million visitors annually. So in the Bradenton area in 2014, how did we contribute to that? Well, we had visitors spending from sporting events generating approximately $72 million in economic impact, a 34.4% increase from 2013. I think that's pretty darn impressive. This, of course, is further proof that the Bradenton area is a prime destination that attracts signature sporting events for world-class competition, elite athletes seeking optimal performance, and global brands pursuing R&D for sports performance-related products, technologies, and therapies. So on behalf of the Bradenton Area Economic Development Corporation, we enthusiastically welcome Major League Football to Lakewood Ranch in Manatee County and are pleased to include them in our vibrant and growing sports performance sector. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. We also have something in common in that her husband is a Notre Dame grad, and there's somebody around here that might have gone to Notre Dame. I neglected also.
Who's that guy?
Who is that guy? I neglected also to and omitted, and it's my bad, to mention a very key officer in our organization, and that's Wes Chandler. Wes couldn't make it here because of a conflict, and it had to be a major conflict for him not to be. Wes is the president of our football operations division. He may be known to many of you native Floridians as an All-American football player at the University of Florida, the third pick in the 1979 draft. And he's just actually this year went on to a long career, both as a player in the NFL and then as a coach in both the NFL, the NFL Europe, and others. And Wes is being inducted this year into the College Football Hall of Fame. So he's a native Floridian, key leader in our group, and you'll be seeing a lot of Wes here, and without Wes's aid and assistance, along with the rest of our team, we wouldn't be standing here, along with all the help we've got from you all. So our next speaker is the Lakewood Ranch representative to the Manatee County Board, Vanessa Baugh, and we welcome her to make her remarks. Thank you, Vanessa.
Thank you. You know, this is a very exciting day for me personally because I live in Lakewood Ranch, I play in Lakewood Ranch, I work in Lakewood Ranch. As most of you know, I was the first store to open on Main Street in Lakewood Ranch. I was out here at Premier the day that this field opened. I have seen this area just grow leaps and bounds. And I've also been fortunate enough to see all of the sports that have come to Manatee County and Sarasota County. Recently, we are just growing leaps and bounds. But I have to tell you, as Commissioner of Manatee County District 5, part of where you are right now, I'm also the chair of the Tourist Development Council. I'm also from Tidewater, Virginia, Norfolk. So to me, this league has a lot of meaning. It's very special. I just welcome all of you to Manatee County. I am thrilled that you're going to be here with us and we can all grow together. If there's ever anything that any of us in Manatee can do for you, you know just to ask. It's a great day here in Lakewood Ranch and in Manatee County. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next speaker, and I think it's fair for me to say, you know, the one thing that struck me from my very first contacts down here and those, the rest of our staff, was the sincere effort, regardless of county boundaries and that sort of thing, to encourage us, you know, to be here and to try to make it happen. And as I said earlier, at the risk of repeating it, but I'm going to say it one more time, my father used to say what you have to say that you said it, and sit down. So I'm going to try to follow that. But obviously, this was a multi-county effort, and certainly Sarasota had a key role in that. And our next speaker is one of the first early gentlemen that I met in my voyage down here, and that's Sean Walter, the director of the Sports Commission for Sarasota. Bradenton. Sorry, Bradenton. My bad. That's all right. Yeah. Bradenton.
Thank you, Frank. No worries at all. Thank you very much. First of all, I hail in Sarasota County. That's where I live and grew up, so that's okay. You know, to kind of mirror image what Commissioner Vanessa Baugh said, we're so excited to have everybody here, the hard work that was put into this. It is a regional event. We do many tournaments and events that we do regional as a partnership with Sarasota County. Many out here at Premier Sports Campus, so it is a team effort. With that in mind, I'd like to thank Major League Football, first of all, for bringing this opportunity to us, to our region, our community, our citizens, and of course, the people coming to visit. The tourists now have an opportunity to experience spring training with the new football league, which is real exciting. Also like to thank SMR and Premier Sports Campus. What an amazing facility. Without the continuing effort of a state-of-the-art facility Antonio's direction, Tony, Rex, all that they do for this community. And obviously, if you look around, we could not be here today. From the tournaments to the events to now this initiative, it takes a lot of work and effort. So thank you, SMR and Premier Sports Campus. The nice thing about Major League Football, what we're excited about as a sports commission, it now completes kind of a resume for us to where we now have the opportunity to go after new sporting events, tournaments, to say, hey, do you guys understand there's Major League Football in our town? That means with having that in our region, it gives us that credibility that we're going to enjoy going out there and telling people. So thank you. The other thing, it also provides us exposure throughout our destination. These may be markets where these teams are that we don't really market and go after. So knowing that we still will be a showcase and a destination, it'll get new tourists coming down here, new market impressions to our beaches, to our beautiful museums and other sporting events. So on behalf of Manatee County, the Bradenton Sports Commission, our region, everybody, thank you so much. We're really, really pleased. Thanks.
We've all spent so much time together sometimes. All right, let's, without further ado, Nicole Rissler from Sarasota County.
Thanks, Frank. Thank you for allowing us to be here today to celebrate an amazing partnership between Major League Football, SMR, Premier Sports Campus, and both the Bradenton and Sarasota communities. It is my honor to be here today to be one of the first people to say to Major League Football, welcome. We are so excited to welcome over 1,000 athletes, coaches, and staff to our region next spring, with the hope that they will be go back to their hometowns across the country and share the awesome news that this is the place to come, to visit, and to play. Thousands of hours have been devoted to making this partnership a reality through Major League Football's persistence, especially JJ. Where are you? I can't tell you how many times I think we said, this can't happen. I'm sorry, we want you here. I just don't know if we can pull this off. And JJ and Frank kept saying, I think we need another meeting. And I'm like, we can meet, but I don't know that we can pull this off. So their persistence and their never give up attitude certainly is the reason we stand here today and making this awesome announcement. I want to give a special thanks to Sarasota County government, the Sarasota County EDC for their incredible support along the way. We have definitely had them at the table in lots of different meetings, working with the Bradenton area EDC to say, how can we make this work for our region? And that partnership is just a great example of the great things we're doing in the sports performance area. So to the Major League Football organization, thank you again for choosing our community. We promise we won't let you down.
Thank you, Nicole. And yes, Scott Rimmer, who I know has moved on to another assignment, but Scott was probably in these meetings and it was instrumental in giving us some guidance and so on. So even though he's not here, I certainly want to acknowledge him and the organization that he represented. Our final speaker, and we will take questions and answers from the press or media or anybody when we conclude with our last speaker, and that's Heather Caston. She's the Lakewood Business Alliance Executive Director, and we welcome her up here.
Right. Well, who's ready for some football, guys? I know it's always football season at my home because I live with 3 boys who are absolutely football fanatics. My husband announces each season, we interrupt this marriage for football season. So I will get ready to interrupt spring as well.
I have a pillow like that on my couch.
But on a serious note, on behalf of our over 500 member businesses of the Lakewood Ranch Business Alliance that we represent here today, we give you a warm and a heartfelt welcome to Lakewood Ranch. Sports is really absolutely woven into the fabric of this community. When you look at this incredible complex that we have here, the Premier Sports Campus, the beautiful polo fields, the world-class rowing facilities, we have over 100 holes of golf here in Lakewood Ranch, and now we get to add to that repertoire the Major League Football group, to that long list of athletic opportunities that this area offers. I think it really speaks volumes that all of you have chosen Lakewood Ranch. You could have selected so many other areas to locate your corporate headquarters, but you chose Lakewood Ranch, and for that I thank you. We all thank you. The Alliance looks forward to working with you, to partnering with you, really welcoming the entire MLFB family to Lakewood Ranch. We want to make your move here as absolutely smooth as possible. We're here to support your efforts in every facet of your business. Best of luck, and we look forward to seeing you here around the ranch. Welcome to Lakewood Ranch.
Thanks. I'm just going to close and echo again. This was a team effort, not just by our organization and our staff, but by everyone here in both counties. And as has been alluded to, there came a time, I think, 6 or 8 months ago, when the white flag went up over the counties here and said, we want you, but we just can't. And obviously, I want to thank again any hoteliers who are here, because that was one of the last pieces in the big puzzle as to, given the fact that you've got spring training, your regular tourist season, and so on, finding enough hotel rooms and the like, and through JJ's efforts and all of you hotel folks in and around both counties, we were able to accomplish that last piece, which was no small effort. As has been alluded to, and Jerry mentioned, we're going to have 1,000 folks, here, football players who don't eat like those baseball players over there. They need a little more food and sustenance. And we expect, that much like your two teams here in spring training, as our league develops and grows, that the fans will come here, much as a destination to get out of the weather that Jerry and I have to live in up in Chicago, and some of our other folks, and come down here and see their team and enjoy all the beauty and the warmth of your beaches and the hospitality that you've shown us all, and it's truly gratifying, and we couldn't be happier. We're going to be moving into our space the 1st of July, although we'll be in and around working on different things. So with that, I'm going to close my remarks. We can get Nick back up here, but if there's questions, obviously from the media, we can have some.
We just stole what I was going to say. Oh, gosh, Frank. Now, again, we want to thank everybody for coming today, especially those who just received the notice. We have media kits at the check-in desk. If you'd like some, they're available to you. If we miss you, we will send it out in an email so everybody has it. Again, I want to thank everybody. We are available for interviews, one-on-ones, whatever you need between now and whenever you need it. So, again, thank you very much for attending today, and we look forward to playing some football.